Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of The Dark Messenger. Today I'm changing up the format a little bit. This is going to be a two-part series, and rather than focusing on a location, I'm going to be focusing on a quest line, and the reason for my doing that will become apparent pretty quickly. So this quest line is obtained after completing Fort Frostmoth and returning to the Captain of the Guard to let him know the conclusion of that quest line. He asks us to come talk to this gentleman here,
Thank you for coming.
Andril, who is the right-hand man of the guy who's in charge of Raven Rock.
I hate to ask for more, but I can't risk Councillor Morvain being killed. The Ulan family of House Lalu, a rival great house, has placed a death mark on the Councillor's head.
That gets our attention right there. A death mark.
It's a private
That means
matter.
a contract.
Let's just say
That means
they
assassins.
seek revenge for the
And
execution
no
of
one has
of their
asked me to
own,
do it.
ordered by
So I'm wondering who
Councillor Morvain
is.
himself. The problem is I don't have any solid proof that anyone from House Lalu is hidden among us. Only my suspicions. It may be justified, but it certainly isn't appreciated. Councillor Morvain simply feels that I'm being paranoid. I'm afraid that one day I'll awaken and discover him dead. And I don't want it to come to that.
Gets a little dark when the vampire sight wears off.
I do.
Since I'm in
I've received some
conversation mode, I
information
can't
from my sources
reactivate
that
it
there
either,
could
so
be
we're just going to have to
elements
do
of
with
Ulan's house,
dark
House
conversation
Lalu,
at this point.
Already in Raven Rock. Raven Rock is a small settlement, so it's hard to accomplish anything in secret. If any of them is from House Lalu, I wouldn't be able to make a move without them knowing.
How can I help?
I had a feeling you'd be willing to listen to me. I need you to start out by being my eyes and ears. Search Raven Rock and see if you can root out these traitors. The best place to start would be Geldis Sadri, over at the Retching Netch Corner Club. If he provides you any leads, check them out before bringing them to my attention.
Geldis Sadre, I believe he's the owner of the Retching Netch, the barkeep.
Traitors. The lot of them.
Sounds like
Their
we're going to go talk to
collaboration
him
with
next.
the Empire may have given them unrivaled political and economic strength, but their hearts weren't with the Dunmer people. Lalu deserved every bit of hatred they received once the Empire released its grasp on Morrowind. Having past ties to the Empire immediately turned them into the scapegoat for the Dunmer people's suffering. They had welcomed the Empire with open arms and benefited from it. When everything was said and done, they were no longer recognized as a great house and were dismissed from the council.
That's harsh.
Don't worry. You can trust Geldis. He's been with us for a long time.
All right, let's get on the move. Well, I'm completely out of coffee, and I've switched to tea, so I'm not sure how that's going to affect this commentary. Hopefully not in a negative way. My caffeine content isn't going to be quite as high as it normally is, so it could be an issue.
Your actions here have been a blessing to us all, Joe.
All right.
Welcome
Here
to
he
the
is.
Retching Netch Corner. The mine's open, people are buying drinks, and I'm making money again. Well, well, Adril's got himself a spy, does he?
He does.
Azura knows he needs all the help he can get. He's been chasing the Ulans for years now. No, I just think he's going about this the wrong way. Actually, I do. If you want to catch those slippery slaughterfish, you need to let them come to you.
Okay, I'm listening.
There's an Ulan ancestral tomb near the temple. Someone's been leaving ash yam offerings on the altar inside. If you were to wait inside for whomever that is, I'm betting they'll have some of the answers you're looking for. What makes you think I have it? Anytime Adril and the Redoran Guard made a move, the Ulans must have been one step ahead and didn't show up. You can thank me if it works. Until then, I'd head to the tomb and wait until your visitor shows up. Come back anytime. My doors are always open.
Okay. So we're going to go to the temple. Underneath the temple, there's a tomb for this particular family that we're concerned with. And it sounds like we're going to do some surveillance. So I think part of the reason I'm interested in this is because it appears to involve some kind of rival assassin or organization of assassins that are operating on this island. And you know what? As a member of the Dark Brotherhood, that chaps my hide, and I feel sort of obligated to figure out who they are and what they're doing. Okay, so here's the entrance to the tomb. I think I am going to take the back way into the tomb rather than walking in the front door. If I'm going to go there to do surveillance, it doesn't make sense for other people to see me walking right in the front door. So, last time I was in here, taking care of their little ash spawn problem, I saw a door on the far right side of the room as you enter that I'm guessing adjoins that other tomb. If it doesn't, I'll go back out and around, but I'm guessing that it does. There was one to the left, and I checked that one out, and it was another tomb. So I'm guessing this is the one that we want. But this is going to allow me to get in there without anybody from the outside seeing me go in. And to me, that is a sensible thing to do from the role-playing perspective as an assassin. At this point, I'm interested in getting in, getting the information, and getting out without anybody knowing I was there or knowing who's collecting the information. The longer I can preserve my anonymity in all of this, the better off I'm going to be. If it does end up being more than one, it helps me preserve my surprise. So that's the way I view it from a role player's perspective anyway. It probably has very little bearing on the actual game. I could probably waltz right in the front door and stand in the back corner in full view and probably still complete this quest. But that's not how I play. Speaking of which, I have some other announcements to make. Those of you who watched my Fort Frostmoth video got to hear a considerable amount of my whining, bitching, and complaining about the state of the light armor selection in Skyrim, and how those of us who have a preference for sort of the dark, more sinister-looking light armor don't have that many options. Well, I have some interesting news on that front. One is that one of my viewers made a suggestion that I try the vampire armor. I know the vampire armor comes in 3 colors. Among those colors is kind of a dark gray. So I tried that. I got a set of armor, the dark-colored gray armor, and I improved it with some smithing, and then just kind of tried it on. It just didn't look right, so I had to abandon it. But in the process, I did also hear from another viewer who said that there is a set of Dark Brotherhood armor called Worn. I think it's called Worn armor, Worn Shrouded armor, that is completely devoid of any enchantments that I could enchant myself. The only drawback is that it can't be improved with smithing. So you're basically stuck with the base armor. You can't improve it at all, but you can enchant it. So that could be a possible option for me. Okay, now who is this? I'm just going to approach her in stealth mode until hopefully this registers. Okay, there we go. We know who it is. Now we can report back to Adril. Okay, we're going to slip out of here the same way we came in. So anyway, I thought that was really terrific. See, you know, you whine and complain enough and you start to find out all kinds of new things. So apparently that is a side quest in the Dark Brotherhood quest, or the Dark Brotherhood quest chain, and I have not found that yet, but I do plan on pursuing that. I probably won't worry about it until I get to a point where I can dual enchant things, or I can put multiple enchants on an item. If I'm going to do it, I may as well do it to the max, right? And my objective really is always to avoid being hit anyway. So, you know, who knows? That might actually be the solution to my problem. It might give me the look or the armor type that I really want, but the enchantments that are going to be most useful to me. So, thank you, viewers, so much. And you know who you are. All right, so we got to go find Adril again now. Can do that.
Veteran or serve no one.
I hope Geldis proved useful. Have you made
Yes,
any
I
progress?
have. Stunning progress.
Telesu. Are you sure? So Geldis' plan worked, eh? Every time we tried it, no one would ever show up. If Telesu's involved in any sort of plot to harm Councillor Morvain, I'm going to need hard evidence to prove it. I'm not kicking down anyone's door until I have solid evidence in hand. If you're wrong about Telesu, things would quickly go downhill around here, and the real culprits might slip away. I can't
We are not going to
afford
let
for
that happen, right?
If you have evidence, and it places your life in peril, I would expect you to do whatever you must to keep yourself alive. Here, this key should open the front door of the manor in case they've locked it. Good luck.
Okay, this is interesting. So we have to go gather evidence now. We've done surveillance. Now we're going to go do some breaking and entering, gather some intel, and then come back, and hopefully that'll be enough to help us figure out what's going on here. So when I first found this quest line, the side quest is called Served Cold, by the way, as indicated by the title of this playthrough. I did a little research and discovered that there is a group of assassins, I think Morrowind-based assassins, called the Morag Tong. And my suspicion is that if it's a group, if it's not just a crazy individual or two that's doing this, if it's a group, it's probably the Morag Tong. And so what better battle than a battle between, the Dark Brotherhood and the Morag Tong? That sounds pretty cool to me. Okay. Oh yeah, they're ready. Okay, we're gonna slip downstairs real quick. All the important rooms in these houses seem to be in the basement, the lower level. There's probably nothing in here. I think we're looking for a bedroom or some kind of chamber that maybe is like a study, perhaps. Wow, look at this. It's pretty well appointed. I see chests. Seems like a natural place to store things. Let's check it out. So let's give credit where credit is due. The viewer that pointed out the availability of this Dark Brotherhood armor called the Worn Shrouded Armor, his name is Mr. Gazgoyle, and you can find him on YouTube. He makes awesome videos. That's Mr. Gazgoyle, so MRGAZGOYLE. I'll put his name and a link to his YouTube channel in the show notes for this episode. He also informed me that he did not believe that the Advanced Armors perk provided any additional improvement for leather armor. Somehow I had the idea that it did. So I went back and I looked at the wikis again, and he was actually correct. Somewhere I thought I had read that advanced armors helped in improving leather, but apparently you can improve leather all the way up to its max without the benefit of any perk. So that is also good to know for those of you who may be considering advanced armors. Spending a perk point on advanced armor, that may influence your decision. I eventually did go ahead and get advanced armor. And the reason that I took the advanced armor's perk is because I wanted to make myself a new set of weapons. And specifically, the Nordic weapons. My reasoning there is that they provide the same level of performance in terms of damage that the elven weapons do that I've been using all along. However, they're actually lighter. So I'll actually be doing the same amount of damage I'm used to doing with some actually nice looking weapons, but they'll be a little bit lighter, so I'll be saving a couple pounds overall between my daggers. I did go ahead and try that out. I made the daggers, I've crafted those, and you'll be seeing those in future episodes. I also made a Nordic bow. Where is this thing? It wasn't in any of those chests, and it certainly wasn't in that other room. I think I missed something in the bigger bed chamber. I'm gonna have to go back and look. I did go ahead and make the Nordic bow, but actually I didn't care for the way it looked. Listen to me, I'm all about aesthetics, aren't I? I'm so shallow. No, but it makes a difference, right? If I'm not happy with the way my character looks, it influences my desire to play him. So, I went back to the Elven. My ultimate goal is to get Oriel's bow. Ah, safe. I didn't even see that before. It's dark. Dark in that corner. Okay. This is probably the first thing I've had to unlock, so I'm guessing what we need is in here. So I'm hoping to get Oriel's bow, and I am going to be recording those play sessions as I try to finish off the Dawnguard quest line and get that bow. You've heard me talk about it in past episodes. I think that bow would be ideally suited to this character's play style. It would... Yep. Okay, we're just going to take the note. We're going to leave everything else as it was. There was plenty of opportunity to loot things in here, but I'm not going to do that. We don't want to leave a trace that we were here, so anything, else missing just has that much greater chance of drawing attention to other things missing. So we're going to take the note. We're going to see where our adversaries are. Kind of wait until I feel like they're turned away from the door before I make my roll. Let's do it. Nice. Gotta love the high stealth. Anyway, I was talking before about Oriel's bow. I think that'd be a good fit for this character's playstyle, given my heavy dependency on a bow. I think it's time that I probably fix on a bow with really high fire rate. And for the fire rate I want, I really only have 3 options. It's either going to be Zephyr, Oriel's bow, or a longbow, a plain longbow. Well, hey, thanks for watching, everybody. I look forward to seeing you in part 2 of Served Cold.
You think you have it?
Thank you for watching another episode in the Dark Messenger series. Please feel free to rate, like, and subscribe. It helps me a lot. You can follow the story at CouchWarrior.tv or on Twitter at CouchWarriorTV. Thank you.